Uh, oh man, I never knew Mitchell Trubisky was such a jokester. I didn't know he was the Joker incarnate. Anyways, hey guys, this is Cam for 15. Back at it, talking another Chicago Bears, I guess, something to do with in reference to Chicago. And I'm here to talk about good old Mitchell Trubisky. I thought I wouldn't have to ever talk about this clown ever again on my channel. I guess I'm wrong because he took apparent shots at the Chicago Bears for how they supposedly treated him. Okay. Okie dokie. You see, I figured it was eventually going to come when Mitchell Trubisky was going to speak his silence and probably give a slight little rip or dig or shot at the Chicago Bears for his failures of being a fucking quarterback in the NFL and being what we thought he was supposed to be when we drafted him to be. Now, here's my things on Mitchell Trubisky. If you do not know, listen, do I like Mitch? Hell no. I did not like Mitch in his time here. 2018 looked like he was damn near promising. And the 2018 season was his breakout year. And ever since then, that's been the only year in his career where he was literally a breakout player. He looked like a promising young player. 2019 came and he regressed horribly. And what I mean, if you can go look at every Chicago Bears 2019 game in the 2019 season and compare that to his 2018 season, he wholeheartedly regressed beyond belief. That was his worst year in the league. He regressed, and I couldn't believe my eyes. In 2020, we don't pick up his fifth-year extension because guess what? Why pay $20 million plus for a quarterback that I don't know can't really do much of anything and didn't really have an impressive last year. So it's a prove it type of thing where, well, prove it to us. Mitch, can you earn yourself a contract? And Trubisky wasn't much different. Hold on for a second, guys. Okay, sorry for that. College stuff. But anyways, yes. And then as I was saying, for Mitchell Trubisky in 2020, he was just at least playing at a subpar level, didn't really do much of anything. And the same flaws were there. As I get deeper into this video, I'll talk about them flaws that I had. But I was not a fan of Mitchell Trubisky. No more as a fan than some of the Chicago Bear fan base community. Some of them didn't like Trubisky. Hell, after he got drafted, he attended a Chicago Bulls game and he was wildly booed because guess what? We didn't want him. We wanted Deshaun Watson. Anyways, if you Bear fans didn't hear in the news, Mitchell Trubisky finally broke his silence in a press conference of how he kind of feels about how he was treated by the Chicago Bears. So, because that's the one thing that he was trending on today, so everything. Anyways, I'm getting most of the quotes from Thad Brown, who I'm guessing is a reporter for the Buffalo Bills team. So, one thing we find out is Trubisky said he didn't have as many offers as you think in free agency, which is not surprising and is not shocking because guess what? I knew Trubisky, the moment the Bears let him go loose into free agency, he wouldn't get many offers because everybody saw the tape on this clown. Everybody knew this guy isn't that good. He's just a below average quarterback who in some places, in some games, he can play above average, which is only against the bad teams. You put Mitchell Trubisky against a bad team, he freaking dominated against them. For example, the Lions were always bad. That was easy pickings for him. When he played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers back in 2018 before Tampa Bay was good, really good. He freaking threw 6 touchdowns on them. And some of those members on that defense from Tampa Bay were on that team. My God. So, of course, I'm not shocked that he wouldn't have a lot of offers, because why? Mitchell Trubisky to me is an immediate turnoff. I've always said his career is done after the Chicago Bears. The Bills wanted to take a chance on him and make him a decent quality, I guess I would say a subpar quality backup, subpar backup quarterback. And that's what I said. If you even go check up last year, my last year game recaps, I always said Mitchell Trubisky is the equivalent of a backup quarterback. He wasn't ready. He was drafted way too damn high because for some reason, these damn so-called draft scouts know what they're talking about. They said Mitchell Trubisky was going to be something special. Nope, he wasn't really. Anyways, let's talk about the one comment. The next comment in this in Mr. Thad Brown's Twitter thread is the fact that that is probably the comment that's getting the most talked about and is the main comment where it refers to him kind of throwing shade at the Bears. Now, the comment in his press conference says this: Trubisky said on signing with the Bills, nice to be in a place where people want you and care about you progressing as a person and a player. Oh, what the doodle do? Mitchell Trubisky plays the whole card, the whole, freaking victim card of, well, if I was only liked and appreciated in Chicago, then, I probably would have turned out to be a little bit better, huh? And I might have been in there. One, I take this comment in 2 different ways. Definitely, one part of this comment is shade at Matt Nagy because he literally says, nice to be in a place where people want you and care about you progressing as a person and a player. That's a shade at Mr. Matt Nagy. Now, listen, in Mitch's defense, I will agree with him on this point. I agree that Matt Nagy did not set up Mitchell Trubisky to succeed. Personally, if you ask me, I feel like Matt Nagy, after that 2018 season, set up Mitchell Trubisky to fail. Everything Nagy did for Mitch in year 1 of that offense made Mitch operate. He made sure he'd get him out of the pocket, made sure he used his legs to run, and he catered to his strengths. 2019 and 2020, mostly 2019, he completely messed up Trubisky, forcing him to be a pocket passing quarterback. And Mitchell Trubisky is not a pocket passing quarterback. Every time we always saw Mitch in the pocket, his feet would get way too happy. He didn't have good pocket awareness, and he just didn't feel comfortable being in the pocket. That stuff is on Matt Nagy, on developing him, helping him, and realizing his strengths and realizing his weaknesses is not being a quarterback in the pocket. And really, that's what most teams game planned against Mitchell Trubisky, to make sure he doesn't get out of the pocket. So I will agree with Mitch on the standpoint. Matt Nagy definitely didn't coach him like he wanted to coach him, like a player he was welcome to be in Matt Nagy's grace, where he was wanted by Matt Nagy. And I definitely do agree with the fact that he didn't, that Matt Nagy didn't put him in a position to progress as a player. Now, obviously, I don't know about a person. I think Mitch is a good dude. I don't think Matt Nagy ever said anything bad about his person, his personality, his character as a legit man. But as a player, Matt Nagy screwed him up. Matt Nagy messed him up. I'm not going to lie about that. Now, let's hold on. Just because I'm blaming Matt Nagy doesn't mean Matt Nagy's all the main problem. Most of it goes to freaking Mitchell Trubisky. And this is what you see with any damn free agent that essentially is with their original team has to go because the team kind of just doesn't want them anymore because they feel like, well, we could go better. We could do better at this. As a typical, like I said, victim card of where that said free agent player goes to another team. In the first ever press conference, I don't know if this was Trubisky's first press conference, but his first media press conference, I guess, at this year's start of the season, he was, well, it's a typical type of BS where it's like, oh, they didn't really help me become a better. I don't feel like when I'm over here, I'm more welcomed. Listen, I don't care if Mitchell Trubisky sees this video or whatsoever. First things first, Mitchell Trubisky, if he is seeing this video, listen, I don't care what he feels about me personally. Just let you know, Mr. Mitch, I did not like you as our quarterback. 2018, I appreciate what you did. 2019, 2020, you did nothing for me to get better, and you did nothing for the team to get better. So that's on you. And that's what I'm going to say. So Mr. Mitchell Trubisky, the hell are you talking about? First things first, you can shut all the F up. Oh, please, cry me a river. He acts as if he wasn't part of the problem. Oh, please. This dude, this is a clown that couldn't even make deep, accurate passes. Every time it was always a deep pass where a receiver was wide open, he would always overshoot them. And the one time he actually hit it on the money, one of his receivers dropped the pass, which was a damn Javon Wims in the playoff game. But he's the last person Mitchell Trubisky's the last person who should be talking about, oh, I freaking, it wasn't my fault. It was morally their fault for treating me wrong. Oh, please. He wasn't trust me. Mitchell Trubisky overthrew receivers countless times on a consistent basis. Speaking of that, he couldn't throw the ball worth a damn. He barely could throw it past 10 yards. You can look at the stats. He was a better passer, anything short of 5 yards. Anything 10 yards plus, barely could do anything with it because he's not a deep ball passer. He has a mediocre arm. His arm's not that strong. And whenever he did get that out, the ball would be wobbling just as bad as Peyton Manning's last year in the NFL when he threw his passes. So don't act like it's not your fault. Or another thing, he was always consistently damn hurt. He was hurt last year when we needed him. He was hurt even this year when he had to sit out a few games because I think he was hurt a little bit this year. So what is he talking about? My God. And then, brother. See, these comments irk me. These comments made by him irk me. And then the last thing really is he couldn't read a fucking defense. That's the most important crime of them all. This clown couldn't read a defense to save his life. And that's what I'm going back. When the defense is finally the following year after 2018, were able to game plan against the Chicago Bears, especially Mitchell Trubisky, what did teams do? They essentially kept Mitchell Trubisky in the pocket by either using a spy or they just made sure their defensive ends essentially got around so where he can't escape the pocket. And they tried to condense the line. Yes, were Trubisky's lines not good? Yes, I will admit that. But let's not act like in some of those cases he could have got out of there. And that was the thing. And all the defenses did was just sit back in zone coverage and say, beat us with your arm. And Mitchell Trubisky couldn't beat you with the arm. Plus, he couldn't read a defense to save his life. He couldn't tell what was man, what was zone, what was some specialized man/zone concept. He couldn't read a defense. That's on him. That's on him for not doing better, not practicing better, and not doing stuff where he gets into the playbook, gets into the film session, and understands what the defense is giving him. That was probably the most atrocious thing because there were reports saying he couldn't read a defense. Then why are you quarterback in the NFL, a starting one at best, if you can't read an NFL defense? At some point, you're going to have to read NFL defenses and understand different coverages. You need to know what a cover 2 is, a cover 3, a cover 4. man coverage. He couldn't do that. He couldn't process that. So that's Trubisky's problem. So whatever. Another comment was asked if somebody asked like if he was asked if he had a real raw deal in Chicago as a 29-21 when that's his win-less record as the quarterback. He had 29 wins and 21 losses. Now he goes on to say the past is the past. I'm not trying to dwell on it. But you literally just made a comment not too long ago after that statement dissing the Bears. Clearly seems like you're dwelling on the past, my friend. Again, he says this, Trubisky on how it feels to be with the Bills. The game feels a lot more pure than it did the last couple of years. It feels more fun. It feels more free. Now, that's more or less a shot at Matt Nagy. Now, maybe to Matt Nagy, he didn't feel like he was having fun in his offense, probably because Matt Nagy was restricting what he could do. And that's a problem on Matt Nagy's case. But at the same time, he didn't put himself in that position. And also, too, another comment. If you're showing up to work where you're not having fun and you come to work dejected, why are you even playing football? Don't even bother. That's the last thing I need to hear. One of my former players saying, now I'm having lots more fun. So does that mean you weren't having fun in Chicago? What the hell are you talking about? The hell? He goes on to another comment. He says, Trubisky says he loves how Dabble, I believe, which is the Bills' offensive coordinator, makes the play calls, gives him a chance to play more free and go through his progressions easier. Another shot at Matt Nagy. Really now? Because that's what I was asking you to do in your entire time in Chicago. Go through your progressions. And Mitchell Trubisky never did that because Mitchell Trubisky's a one-read quarterback. He sees his first thing. If he sees his first read, the main read that he's supposed to throw to, taken away, he doesn't know how to process it and go somewhere else. So I think that's a BS comment by Mitchell Trubisky. Oh, please. Of course you're going to say that. He probably can't read the field anyways. Next comment. Trubisky thinks joining the Bills has helped his game. He said he sees a lot more progress with the coaches on the field and the resources here. Okay, listen. The coaching staff of the Bears, I don't like. I think the coaching staff of the Bears is honestly pathetic. But the resources? Listen, the Buffalo Bills defense is good, but at best, I would say the Bears defense plays at least similar to the Buffalo Bills defense. But I'll give a slight edge to the Buffalo Bills defense. Offensively, I think Stephon Diggs and Allen Robinson are the same caliber type of player. You had Darnell Mooney last year, who you can compare to Cole Beasley. Nice slot receiver. You had some pretty decent weapons. You had Cole Kmet, you had Jimmy Graham last year. And guess what? I personally think in some cases, the offense for the Bears is much better than the offense for the Bills. Not to take anything away from the Bills' offense. I think the Bills' offense is pretty good. But let's not act like the Bears' offense that Trubisky was given was nothing to sneeze at. Trubisky had weapons. He has running backs. He had pretty decent receivers. So what is he talking about resources? The hell is he talking about? It's BS. So he's also throwing shade at his former teammates as well. If I'm a Bears player, I'm seeing this and I'm like, the fuck? The hell? Really? And especially with the defense on the ball, because the defense would be like, bro, we carried your ass because you couldn't keep up your slack of the work. So, yeah, makes more sense there, huh? Okay, as I'm going through here, and then one of his last few comments saying, Trubisky going back to Chicago for the preseason game against the Bears next week, because if you guys didn't know, the Bills do play the Bears in Chicago in the preseason. And he says, it will be weird going back there, but I'm looking forward to it. Of course, because he wants to see if he can shut up any Chicago Bear fans from, I guess, booing him. But personally, if you ask me, listen, Chicago Bear fans, boo the man. Boo the man. Please do, because guess what? Why? Why? Because it's so freaking, it's so like, it's so like annoying and so freaking stupid. And then I even got another comment. So one more comment before I get to the end of this video. He literally says he wasn't surprised that the Bears declined his fifth-year option. He said he could feel them believing in him less and less. He said he's getting the love for the game back in Buffalo. Well, he did to himself. He had to prove to the Bears that he deserved getting a contract extension from them, and he didn't. And of course, the Bears believed in him less and less and less over time. And they probably and I think Trubisky obviously knew that that belief in him was gone when Nick Foles came in for him in the week against the Falcons. And that was the end of the Mitchell Trubisky era. But what are my thoughts on Mitchell Trubisky taking his BS shots at the Bears? Fine. Fuck him too. Fuck him too. I don't care if you were a Mitchell Trubisky supporter. Guess what, Mitch? You had your supporters, even though I was against them, telling these same exact supporters, listen, he's not good. Stop supporting this guy. This guy isn't anything special. He's a joke. He's just like all the other quarterbacks we had in the past. That's why I'm happy to have Justin Fields. And guess what? I'm happy to have him because from what I'm hearing in training camp, he's been getting better every single day. His first day, the first couple of days, wasn't as good. But day after day, I've been hearing good things saying he's getting better. He's getting better. We never heard that about Mitchell Trubisky. We never heard that. With Mitchell Trubisky, it was always, oh, he had a pretty good day. Oh, then he didn't have a good day. Oh, he had a pretty good day. Nah, he didn't have a pretty good day. It was flip-flop with him. Listen, in some extent, I will agree with Mitch in terms of how Matt Nagy and some of the coaching staff treated him. I think that Matt Nagy, mostly importantly, was probably the one guy, especially you could see it in 2019, that Matt Nagy wasn't coaching this guy like he liked this dude. He was coaching him like he wanted him off the team. Like, my God. But if freaking Mitchell Trubisky is just going to take shots at the Bears for his own shortcomings with Chicago, well, guess what? That's something he needs to look in the mirror himself, and he needs to get better. And look, he's a subpar quarterback, so hopefully he plays solid. He plays good in the preseason for his sake, so maybe a team will see it and be like, you know what, let's take a chance on him if he doesn't re-sign with the Bills as a backup quarterback. But I don't like the fact that he's taking shots at the Bears for saying, I feel more love playing football here in Buffalo than I ever did in Chicago. Listen, he didn't say that, but he essentially said that. He said that he found his love of the game back in Buffalo. So what's that supposed to mean? That means you didn't enjoy your time in Chicago. That means you didn't love playing football here in Chicago. Well, listen, maybe the fact is you couldn't handle the pressure in Chicago because you should have known in Chicago we were desperately thirsting for a legit quarterback to be able to hopefully be a quarterback of the future where we have literally 10 plus years. And he never lived up to that expectation. Personally, if you ask me, I think when the Bears drafted him, he was caught by surprise. He never thought he was going to be the second overall pick. And I think in one case, Ryan Pace set him up to fail by drafting him so damn early in the draft. At that point, you might as well should have just traded back to like the 10th pick and maybe he would have felt better. But you traded up for this kid at the number 2 pick in the 2017 draft. He was completely shocked. So that's on Ryan Pace for not for taking a guy that wasn't even thinking about being a high draft pick. And with high draft picks come high responsibility and comes expectations. And in the city of Chicago, you have an expectation, especially at the quarterback position, to be good, to be great. Not just good, just great. A competent quarterback, if you are an average quarterback, but mostly to be that franchise guy. And I feel like that was too much for Trubisky to handle. And he couldn't handle the pressure of the Chicago Bear fans and the pressure of living up to what the Chicago media, the fans, and everybody wanted him to do. If I was a Mitchell Trubisky supporter, I would be like, you know what? Screw you then. If you really felt like that, then you can kick rocks. The Bears were the one organization that gave him opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. Ryan Pace tried his hardest to keep Mitch the Golden Boy in Chicago when his time was up. And if he's going to go back and diss the Chicago Bears, well, guess what? He better ball out in that preseason game against the Chicago Bears and throw over 400 yards then. So if anybody, thing is, I wish I went to Chicago and I wish I went to Soldier Field just to watch this measly preseason game. Because if I was there at Soldier Field, I'd be the one person booing Mitchell Trubisky every possession of the Bills. I would just be booing. I'm going to watch that game. I'm going to watch the game. And honestly, I might actually make a game recap just for Mitchell Trubisky, just purpose, because he talked a lot of shit today in this press conference. So I can't wait for August 21st, because I'll be in my TV watching Chicago Bears versus Buffalo Bills. Because if that happens and I see that, my God, I'm going to enjoy this. And I hope the Bears hit him every single time. I hope the Bears pick him off. I hope the Bears sack him 24 times. I don't care. He's talking this crazy junk like he's some superstar quarterback. He wasn't anything special. You couldn't live up, Mitch, accept it and just say you couldn't live up to expectations in Chicago and move on. He didn't need to diss the Bears. He didn't need to diss Matt Nagy, even though Matt Nagy did him no favors. But he don't need to do that. If I was a Bears fan, I would have lost a lot of respect for Mitch, because it seemed like when he left, he said, hey, it just didn't work out, and that's how it is. Here, he finally took his shot at the Bears for him thinking that he was done dirty. Well, it's not my fault. Clearly, the market said itself, because clearly nobody wanted you. The Bills were the only team that was like, yeah, we'll take you as a backup quarterback, but other than that, don't expect anything. So, again, listen. Hopefully for Mitch Trubisky in Buffalo, it works out for him. He finds another job where he can get a chance to maybe start again, and hopefully he kills it. Personally, for my sanity, hopefully he doesn't. And listen, that's his problem. So, listen, I can't wait to see August 21st to see if he's a supposedly different quarterback that goes through his progressions. I guess they had like some sort of drill, like in Buffalo or something like that, where I need to pull this. I need to find this thing, because there was a part in Bill's practice where I guess they had some sort of quarterback throw, 45-plus yard throw into this deep net, and it has to go into the net. And essentially, Trubisky went 1 of 6 in a 45-yard throw to throw it into the net. Davis Webb was 3 of 6. So what is he talking about? Anyways, look, that's all I got to say about Mitch. So fine, screw him. If he really feels like that, I better see this Mitch that he's talking about on August 27th. So I can't wait to see you on August 27th, Mitch. That's all I got to say. If you Bear fans like this video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on Mitchell Trubisky's comments. And does it anger you as a Bear fan, or do you agree with his comments? Personally, I don't see how any Bear fan can agree with this statement, because guess what? Listen, yes, I think every Bear fan will agree that Matt Nagy did not help Mitchell Trubisky and did not set him up to succeed after 2018 season. But we all as Bear fans know this clown didn't do much of anything to help himself. So what is he talking about? Other than that, I'm going to get out of here. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day or night when checking out this video. And if you do, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell icon to be up to date with whatever I upload to the channel, Chicago Bears related. I'm probably not going to be talking mostly preseason. Maybe I will, since the first preseason game is coming out this season, or this upcoming Saturday. So maybe I'll make a video about the preseason game and my thoughts on how things look, probably just for Justin Fields' case. But definitely I'll be talking about, I can't wait to watch the Bears-Bills game and talk about Mr. Mitch and see if he's different. Like I said, I hope he gets sacked 20 times. I hope he gets picked off. So I need the Bears defense. I need Sean Desai to bring his A game on the preseason game, because I'm sorry, if you see these comments in the Bears locker room by Mitchell Trubisky, you'd be like, this man can go all sorts of F off, man. Especially the defense. The defense can say, bro, we carried your ass because you couldn't do your end of the bargain. Anyways, that's it. I'm going to get out of here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Until then, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.